Like a beautiful choir. I begin today with these words from Howard Thurman. When the song of the angels is still, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among people, to make music in the heart. Let all of that be true for you as the work of Christmas begins in each of us. And we come to this final day of 2023, in these final hours of this year. Consider all that has been for you as an individual. Consider all that has been for us as a spiritual community, for your families, for your friends. Consider all that has been for our world. And as the Daily Word said, some of it was celebratory, some of it was joyful, and some of it was just downright painful. And yet we move through it all, and we learn, and we become better in how we live. And today we gather to prepare our hearts, our minds, and our spirits for this ritual of the burning bowl, very meaningful ritual. And our heart's desire, truly, is always to be in harmony with the heart of God. In a sense, we're always seeking and trying to find our way back to Eden's garden, to that pureness, that innocence, that our connection with our God. So this burning bowl represents an experience of cleansing, that flame that cleanses anything that disrupts that connection of our awareness, of our oneness with the divine. To clear away any clutter. And I don't know about you, but I will speak for me and say that there are times when there's a lot of cluttering thoughts going on in my mind. There's some words that slip out. There's some actions that I sometimes regret. So we use this process of the burning bowl to clear away all that doesn't serve us anymore, if it ever did, to make room for our highest good. Now we observe this burning bowl on the final day of the year, but we needn't wait. This is a ritual that we can do every day if we choose. Any time that there is something, anything that's in between us and God, anything that disrupts that connection of awareness of our oneness, we can use this burning bowl as a ritual to clear it. Just to remember who and what we are, to refresh our intentions. And if this is the first burning bowl for anyone, here's what you can expect. We'll sit for a moment in contemplation. But Spirit is working and moving as we sit in that quiet. Spirit, that still small voice, is speaking to us. So we listen. We listen deeply for those words of what is ready, what rises in us, ready to be let go. We'll write them on a piece of paper, and then we will walk up and we'll watch them burn in the flame. Then we create space by letting go, and then we will fill that space with our intentions for the new year. We'll write our desires, put them in the envelope, address the envelope, and sometime during the year, I'll mail them to you, and you can see in writing what intentions that you said today have come into existence. So let's begin. I like to begin with gratitude, because gratitude says to the universe, yes, more of this, please. And when we begin with gratitude, we automatically open our heart. You can't feel resentment and gratitude at the same time. So, with gratitude, we ease ourselves. We remember. We open our heart to be recipients of more good. So let's start with pausing for a moment to reflect over this year. What experiences, what people, what are you grateful for? Just in the silence, just let everything rise. Notice the details. Take in that image and allow it to shift and move your energy. Charles Fillmore says, gratitude is a great heart magnet. What we hold in gratitude expands and increases. And when we have a consistent practice of gratitude, we notice that. As we live in the spaciousness of gratitude, as we become grateful, we notice more to be grateful for. And as we become more grateful, we notice still more to be grateful for. Notice your energy shift as you land on the moments of gratefulness in the year. When you're ready, open your eyes. No matter how good I feel, when I consciously focus my energy in gratitude, it lifts my heart, it lifts my mind, and my spirit. How about you? You feel a little something after a moment of gratitude? And in the words of John F. Kennedy, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. To live by your gratitude. And we incorporate that into our life. Now we notice gratitude not just for the easy breezy moments of the year, not just for the things that went our way, but maybe the challenges that rose that we needed to know something. The challenges that we worked through that allowed us to become more resilient, more conscious of our faith, deeper in our faithfulness. Those moments of gratitude too. So I'm going to ask you now to take the green paper out of your envelope. Green is the heart chakra. When we're in gratitude, our heart is open. And just put a word or two for those experiences, the people, the things that you noticed you were grateful for in that brief moment of silence. And if you're at home, if you don't have green paper, that's okay. Write it on any piece of paper that's handy. And you'll notice as you think of them, more and more and more will come. Now I'm going to invite you to take that green paper and place it somewhere that you can get to it easily. And throughout 2024, when something comes up, or you find yourself grumpy, not feeling grateful, pull your paper out and read your list for the year. So you might add to it as the day goes on, or then even tomorrow when you reflect on it. Use that as your reminder to return to gratitude. Now, what you've been waiting for, letting go, the burning bowl, the releasing. Charles Fillmore describes renunciation, one of those 12 powers, as letting go of an existing thought for a new thought in consciousness. That is true transformation. When we can let go of a thought that perhaps we've believed it all our life that isn't true for us, or it isn't true any longer, when we can let go of that and incorporate a new thought, that is true transformation. Perhaps it's a small vision of ourselves. Perhaps it's something that causes us to not live our fullest, to not live the brilliant, bright light that you are, the light that I can see from here. So now we take the small white square of paper, and if you're at home, any piece of paper will do. And we're going to write those things that come between us and our awareness of our connection with our God. A false belief, a regret, a resentment. Perhaps there's someone or something that needs to be forgiven. This is the perfect time and place to write it. Let it flow out of your body and onto the paper, so that you no longer carry it within. When you've written a word or a phrase to represent that which is ready to go, don't roll it. Just come up and allow it to burn, and watch it evaporate into the nothingness. Beautiful. Beautiful to bear witness to. So do you feel lighter? Do you feel more open? Do you feel freer? A little more at ease, perhaps? We've created a beautiful space within us. But the universe does not allow an empty space. It fills with something. So what will you fill this space with that you have now created? Will you fill it with more of the same? Will you fill it with something new? What is in your heart? What is on your mind? As we begin to set our intention for the coming year, I want to say a couple of things about intention. When we set our intentions, avoid the shoulds in life. I should, and you fill in the blank. Just let that go. Because the shoulds weigh us down. The obligation. Often they come from our egoic mind. I should. Avoid setting intentions based on someone else's expectations. Those often lead to the shoulds. Set intentions by truly listening to that still small voice, that whisper. That if we don't listen to it, will become louder and louder, but note it as a whisper, that divine intuition that is in every one of us. We all know what is ours to do. So the universe upholds and supports our most deeply held intention. That which we pour energy and enthusiasm into consistently tends to come to be. So here's a true story. Matt, who some of you may remember as a young man who attended our spiritual community until he moved to Colorado. He remains part of our Tuesday night study group, and he shared this story, and he gave me permission to share it with you today. So through thoughtful consideration and discernment and life happenings, Matt decided that he wanted to make a change in his life and set the intention to live less recklessly. He can sometimes be an adventure seeker. He wanted to change that. And he set that intention. As his day went on, he forgot about that, as we often do, but it was deeply embedded in him. It was an intention that he held with enthusiasm and zeal and wanted to see happen. So the next morning, on his way to work, just minding his business, driving along, until he was pulled over by a police officer, a friendly enough woman, who cited him for reckless driving. It wasn't lost on Matt. He immediately got it. A good practicer of unity. Reckless driving. That's how deeply embedded that intention was. It was his most highly held intention. So there he was with the police officer being cited for reckless driving. And in true unity form, Matt thanked the officer for helping him remember his intention to live less recklessly. The officer invited him to listen closely to the universe. Because on this particular day, nothing happened except being pulled over. She encouraged him to listen to the universe because perhaps next time it wouldn't have the same outcome. And you have to know Matt. He's young, he's warm and friendly, he's a nice looking guy, and she left him off with a warning. To go and live less recklessly. Now, sometimes our intentions are fulfilled that quickly. Charles Fillmore says, love is the energy that binds us together and everything in the universe. Divine love is impersonal. It shines for the pure joy of shining. Love is that harmonious energy that flows in the universe, that brings to us and us to our highest good. On that particular morning, it was the power of love that drew Matt and this police officer together through his intention of living less recklessly. We first call upon our wisdom and discernment to bring our life into manifestation with clarity and purpose. We call on our wisdom. And for this human experience, love draws everything to us to have that intention made manifest. So we are going to pause for a time of contemplation, of deep and open-hearted listening to that still small voice and what is yours to do, what intention you will hold in the coming year. So now we take the final paper from our envelope and allowing yourself a proper amount of time to hear, you will write this letter to yourself of what is yours, what is your deepest desire, what is the most deeply held intention for you in the coming year. So we gently move back into the silence to listen and to hear. To invite clarity. To invite discernment. To invite spirit to be your guide. And as you hear, you listen. And you follow willingly. Allowing the words to be written in a letter to yourself. Sending them out into the universe. Allowing the universe to uphold your life, your intentions. When your letter is written, place it in the envelope and address the envelope to yourself, please. And when our time is here complete, Cynthia and Penny will collect them as you leave the chapel. If you're visiting from home, place the letter somewhere where you don't see it every day, somewhere that you will remember. In 6 months, 8 months, open it and see what you have made manifest in your life through the power of your intention, through the power of the universe supporting your highest good. We recall the words from the alchemist: when we decide what it is that we want, the entire universe conspires for our good. So here and now, claim that to be true for you, that the entire universe is conspiring for your good. And I want to say a word about manifesting. Sometimes we manifest our deepest held intentions immediately, just as Matt experienced, and sometimes not. When not, I remind myself it is not my calendar and my clock that the universe works in. God's Spirit is always working for my good. It's in our principles. Always working for my highest good. So I can sit and be patient and allow the work of the universe to support my good. So some of the questions I ask in that time of waiting and allowing is my intention from my human mind, from what the world is drawing me to? If so, I let that go. Is my intention truly from Spirit, from that divine call? If my intention is from Spirit, I can sit and rest in the ease and knowledge that my way will be made clear. I lived that in the journey to become a minister. I couldn't always see in my human eyes how that would happen. I was a single person supporting and sustaining my life. How would ministerial school fit into all of that? And yet I knew it was a call that I must say yes to. And as I sat and allowed, step by step, every single need was met. The path unfolded with ease and grace and beauty all along the way. Since the universe is always upholding our good, our highest and best, I wonder what God is protecting me from when my intention isn't made manifest immediately. What am I being protected from? That allows us to let it go and allow the flow of life to carry us forward. And then there's this prayer that we can use when our intentions aren't coming into being just as we thought they should. And in a recent phone call with Reverend Lola, she shared this prayer with me. And it's Grace's radical prayer. Thank you, God. I know it's good. What is it that I'm supposed to know? Woo! Thank you, God. I know it's good. What am I supposed to know? Say that. Thank you, God. Say it out loud from your heart. Thank you, God.
It must be good. What am I supposed to know?
And we know and trust that it is good because God is absolute good. Omnipresence. We say that every Sunday. And now is a beautiful opportunity for us to live that. Let's say that. Grace's radical prayer. Write it. Carry it with you. Use it anytime you need it. Together.
Thank you, God. It must be good. What am I supposed to know?
Happy New Year. Namaste.